Hello, great people. It's another beautiful day on the show. Thanks for joining us. It's Talk to Be, baby. Yes, you know how we do it. And of course, today I am so excited because of my guest. You know her. I am more than happy she's on the show today. Thank you guys for your constant love. Thanks for your constant support. Thanks for always being there. Thank you for supporting my guest. Thank you for appreciating them. Thanks for dropping those beautiful comments. I am grateful. I have somebody who is like a mother, a senior colleague, a friend, somebody, one of my very, very strong support system in the industry. I'm so happy she's here today. Before I introduce her, I would love to go for a short break. Please note all opinion and views expressed on this show is solely that of my viewers and is not of me, neither is it of Talk to Be as a whole. And when I'm back, I will introduce my guest. My name is Dr. Abiola Adebayo Akinrinde. Don't go away.
Talk to Be, share your experience.
Thank you for staying tuned. Just in case you're just watching, you're watching Talk to Be. And like I said earlier, that I am so excited because today is different. Today is so special to me because, of course, I have the legendary, the beautiful, the amazing, my mother, my friend, my baby. And so join me as I welcome the legendary Binta Ayo Mogaji. Thanks for coming on the show, Mom.
Thank you so much. It's a very great honor to be here.
My God.
I've been looking at it. I am a very strong fan of the program.
Ooh.
I watch, especially when I am not on location, I look out for it that, okay, what is the next topic on Talk to Be?
Wow.
And I'm very impressed. I don't expect anything less from you.
Thank
and
you.
I'm so delighted to be here. So I've been thinking, where am I Ini? Until she will come. Eventually, they opened it to my chapter. So I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thanks
You're
for
most
coming. It's such an honor. To be honest, I don't hesitate to appreciate people's time because I know what time it is. I know time is money. So for whoever gives it to you has given you a whole lot. And for me, my team and myself were saying thank you, Ma, for coming on the show. We love and appreciate you.
And I'm saying thank you for having me.
All right, Ma. Let's go to the business. Let's get to meet you afresh. Of course, you've been around for decades over decades, and
because I'm a Methuselah.
Mommy, stop it.
Talking to be now.
You're talking. Okay, Ma. Let's get to meet you. Tell us the things we know about you and the things we don't know about you. Everything that we should know before I start asking my questions.
Okay, I'll start from.
Please, guys, expect English, as in big English.
Sorry,
Jo-
me the one is so important.
Oh, yeah, mommy, Emma Sorry.
What big English do I have besides somebody like you? You are a professor of philosophy.
Broken.
What kind of English do I want to spark here?
You spoke it.
I cannot spark any English here that will impress
Oh my God, I know today is going to be very interesting. All right, so let's go. Let's get to meet you.
So let's get there.
Okay.
You want to know everything about me.
Yes.
Everything that you know and everything that you don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
If I have to say everything you know it already. If I have to say
It's not
everything,
me. You're not talking
if
to
I
me.
have to say everything, I'm speaking in general terms. Too. If I have to say everything you don't know, then I'll talk a lot of things that will sound like gibberish. But my name's, like Shirley said, Binta Ayo Mogaji, number 8 of 10 children from my father's side, and number 4 from my mother's side. I am from a Muslim home. My father was a Muslim scholar, a very big imam.
Wow.
His name was Alhaji I.S. Mogaji. He was an imam, the chief imam, one of the first chief imams of Ansaruddin Society of Nigeria.
Wow.
And my mom, too, was a school teacher, even though she was a Muslim scholar, too. Both of them were doing radio sermons on... They were doing Muslim sermons on radio in their lifetime.
Wow.
So you can see the kind of background
That
I
you
came
have.
from. A very strong Muslim home where, apart from my tertiary studies, I went to Muslim schools.
Wow.
I went to Ansaruddin Primary School. I went to Isabatuddin Girls Grammar School. So you can imagine. And I went to Ilekeu. I went to Ansaruddin Madrasa. I killed there.
You killed
I went
it.
to a madrasa, like, is the norm in my home,
Wow.
you know. And then nothing much to talk about my youth, except I remember 2 stories that I was told.
Okay.
I can remember one, but I can't remember the other one. I was told the other one that when I was about 4 months old or thereabout, they made, you know, in my home, when they have a kid, you know, the alpha setting now, people will bring their children to come and work and live with them. So they had a maid for me, a maid for my sister, a maid for
Wow.
other siblings that, okay, Iwolu mama toju, Lagbaja, Iwolu mama toju Tamedo. So my own maid at that time, Auntie Samura, I learned that she went to the backyard to fetch water from the well.
Okay.
And our legs slipped, and we jumped into the into the conga, and we were not rescued until the following day, but both of us survived.
Wow.
So every time my mom talks or I do something, she'll say, Efile omonla. You know, that kind of thing. Efile omonla ni o, you know.
That you survived.
Then I remember, the one I remember was during the Civil War. My mom used to have a shop at the front edge of the house where we live. She was a school teacher, but she was very enterprising. She had a bakery.
Oh, wow.
She had a provision store and a cement store as well.
Wow.
So she was partly a civil servant and partly a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, so to say. So during the Civil War, they had a troop moving. People are, you know, you hear their footsteps from far off when a platoon is coming, the way they march on the streets. So somebody raised an alarm and everybody just started running helter-skelter. Everybody ran into the house. They didn't know which of the troops were coming. And they left me outside. Yeah, they left me outside. So it was one of the soldiers who said, kick the main entrance door open and threw me back inside the house.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Omonla.
Online, 1968. I remember that very well. I just sat down there. I was watching what was going on.
Like, how old were you then?
I was like 4, 5.
Wow.
4 going 5. And I was like, interesting. I was looking at their footwear.
Footwear, yeah.
Because everybody's footwear was like the same. And, you know, you will see all those legs. It was like a mirage of bees or ants were coming towards me. I was just, I wasn't looking up really. I was looking at the way all the boots.
The boots, yes.
And the precision of
Their
how
footsteps.
They were moving like a tank.
I get it.
You know, so I was just there. I wasn't crying. I was just looking at the shoes.
The shoes.
Yes, I was just looking at the footwear.
Wow.
Until they samurai ti bàjẹ́ o gbàgbé Fatima síta. So apart from that, my childhood was normal like any other person.
This is
Children are
interesting.
mischievous. We play pranks. We get scolded for it, and that's about it.
Thank you. This is actually very interesting.
Well, I don't say it to most people except for those who really know about it.
I know, right? Okay, so coming from the background that you had, how were you able to find your way to the movie industry? Like, Omo Imam. Do you understand? I know what that means.
Okay, like my father passed on in 1971. I was still quite young then.
Oh, okay.
And then, like I said to you, my mom was a school mistress. So, because of the way I talk, the way I interact with people, I am an extrovert to a point. I still am to a certain point. And when I was very inquisitive when I was young. I want to know why things are the way they are. Like this, looking at the boats that I was telling you. So I talk a lot. I ask questions. Some people say I'm wayward. Some people say I'm intelligent. So it depends on the angle you are looking at me from. Naturally, in my home, everybody thought I was going to become a lawyer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when we got to Form 5, my mother sat us down and asked what kind of career anybody would want to choose. I said, me, I love traveling. I love seeing places. So I want to become an air hostess or work in the Navy. But we got out. Nigeria was still very good then. I mean, with your secondary school certificate, if you pass well, like me, because I pass well.
Yeah, wow.
I passed well during my WAEC, even though I had grade 2, not grade 1.
Okay.
But there were only 2 grade 2s in my school that year because of examination malpractices. And I grabbed one of the 2.
2, wow.
That were in my school. They cancelled a lot of people's
Results.
and, I started working while trying to go back to school. I did JAM. They gave me Yoruba. I didn't want to do Yoruba, man. No. I want international relations. How can you give me Yoruba? Yoruba tinti so. Kilo to feshele. By and large, they found me a job at the ministry. In fact, the job looked for me itself, and I was on grade 4 level. At that time, they give you 250 naira, and they give you incentives and allowances of 30 naira. It was big money, man. Big money.
Wow.
Even people who were just SR grade 3, they were on level 3, and they were collecting 180.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And with that 200, you cannot spend the 250 in a month. What are you buying? House rent. When from school, from the job, I went to do my HSC at Ife, Oyo State College of Arts and Science, and I rented my room there for 7 naira per month.
Wow.
And I was living big.
Of
That's
course.
why I was paying 7
naira.
7 naira per month out of my money. I was living big. I was the only person living in my room, and
Wow.
you understand. That's
So
how
you
Nigeria
could pay less.
was at that time. One day, I had a senior brother. His name is BC Toluashe. He lives in Houston, Texas now. My mother's firstborn. He was into the arts already.
Oh, okay.
It was on Bellows Way, it was on Why Worry, it was on all those NTA Ibadan television programs. It was on Coco Close as well. So, one day they needed somebody that could come and play a character's child, and it was a prominent role. That was on Why Worry.
Why worry?
And that was where me and my big brother, Akin Louis, where we first really met and interacted.
Wow.
Because he was the Why Worry. My brother was a Pentecost that was, like an apprentice and a neighbor in his barber's shop. Why Worry was like a barber story. It was comedy. And he had a wife, I think Auntie Selena Aiba was his wife then. There were a lot of people, Auntie Vicky Owodonisha. I was the one who played the estranged daughter then.
That's it.
So my brother said, I have a sister. You will like it. Don't let me say anything about her. So my brother promised them that, don't worry, that character we're looking for, I can provide it. So when he came back from the studio that day, he told me, when you come back from school, when you are coming from school tomorrow, branch at NTA. I might have a character you can play. And that was it. That was how my journey into professional acting started. Though we do literary and debating in school, we do drama club, we play, but that was how I got into the mainstream. And by October 1st, 1980, I started earning money from acting.
What year was that?
It was that same 1980.
Okay.
I was almost getting out of school because I finished secondary school in 1980.
Okay.
About 44 years ago.
Yes.
You see, I'm a very young girl.
I know, right?
You know what I'm talking
I know.
about. So I started earning. Like, there's something they call pink form in NTA in those days. That they signed my name, pink form and stuff.
Wow.
I started earning as an actor from October 1st, 1980.
What about your ministry job?
My ministry job was going on. I was the youngest girl in the ministry at that time. I was 16. I was just 16 years old. In fact, I was acting before. Okay, I was 16, and 3 months later, we left the secondary school. I got my job, I think, in September.
Okay.
But I've been coming from school to NTA, but that I earned my first pay as an actor. It was on October 1st, 1980. I can never forget that day. I've been doing stuff with them. But you know me, I was just doing it, and I enjoyed doing it. But the day they told me, oh yeah, let's sign you away, was October 1st. And my ministry job was there. So we don't rehearse.
Okay.
We really don't rehearse. They give you your script. You find your way to NTA, collect the script that you would do, read it, and that's just how it goes. Sometimes we shoot live. When they know we're going to shoot live, we rehearse a bit. But it was easy. It was kind of easy because it was television. It wasn't like stage.
Yes.
You know, it is on stage that you can see what a lot of people are doing today. Even back then, we were always loyal to the script. But the way we shoot these days, we do a lot of slapstick because they say make it your own word. And
improvise.
We bypass the message.
That's right.
That the script writer wants us to send across. But basically, that was how the acting career started. It was through that my elder brother that I came into limelight.
Wow. Okay, so at this time you started, what was your mom's take?
It was still in Ibadan now, and Brother Bisi was doing it, so she didn't think that I was going to make it a career.
Okay.
But in 1983, I found a job at NTA Abuja.
You left the ministry work at that time?
When I went back to school to do HSC, I left the ministry work.
Okay.
So after my HSC, I met a friend who had an uncle at NTA Abuja, Nkoko. While we were waiting, I did another jam. They gave me my Duguri for Mascom, Ramat University at that time. So I went on a visiting thing before doing
The proper admission.
Then I saw the sun. I felt the sun and house flies. House flies in my Duguri all long. So I decided, no. Me, I've never stayed away from my parents all my life. You understand? Apart from that Ife's thing that I said I was living like a queen or king.
Yeah.
So I said, no, this place is not for me. I deferred my admission. Then, in the course of that my friend, we went to Abuja, and they're looking for people who will read Yoruba news, kiniko. But it's part-time. I said, let's try it. I tried it. It was while I was reading news, Yoruba news as a part-time news person on NTA Abuja at that time. It's not every day, but once in a while they use me as a filler. That I met late Obafonsho Adeolu. I was coming home. So I met him on a flight and said, I've seen your face before. I said, I read news on. I said, oh, really? Do you live in Abuja? I said, I live there part-time. So, okay, you're going back to Lagos now. I said, and he said that they're doing a Village Headmaster audition in Lagos, so at the National Theatre. If you're interested, you can come around.
Wow.
And I went for Village Headmaster audition. And I became one of the sewing girls. It was at the National Theatre. That was where I met my friend, Lara Akinshola, late Victoria Ajome Ije, and a host of others. So many people who are late now, like Uncle Wole Amele, who was playing Balogun then, Dea Filaka, the former chief, the former Oba of Owu, Uncle Sonya Dosumu. He was a scriptwriter. So many people. So Uncle Femi Robinson was a headmaster. He left the mantle for late Justice Esiri, and it went on and on and on and on like that. Then it got to a stage, you don't speak ill of the dead. Something transpired amongst myself and one of the elders of the cast. He wanted me to get into his bed, and me, I was a tomboy, I couldn't do it. So they used Owa Agbara for me and said, it's either me on Village Headmaster or him. Uncle Dejumo Louis was the producer. Later, Nebeli Elebua was the associate producer. They now, fortunately enough, just like this body mic is on my body, I was explaining the situation to one of my friends. We were shooting at Ajara in those days. Ajara, Badagry side. That's where Village Headmaster camp was. And I was explaining to this person that, well, what does this man want? I can't friend him. I mean, I don't. I can't. It's almost my father said, why should he think? Because Omokoni, Jasa Aristo level, Jasi, I mean, from where I was coming from. Fortunately enough, somebody was inside the van that heard what we were saying. I did not realize that my body mic was on. So they paid me for the entire block. We shoot in block. Sometimes we shoot 13, sometimes we shoot 26. And we sign the contract form according to how many of the episodes you are involved with. So I've signed my contract form already. But that person could not do anything, just said, Ayo, you have to go.
Wow.
You just have to go, but they will pay off your full fee. They paid me my fee. Going to England at that time was no big deal. I carried my passport and I took off for England. I went via KLM. I got to Amsterdam and I sent this person a postcard that Village Headmaster is not feeding me. Yeah, I was a recalcitrant. I was a, you know what I'm saying? So I just sent him a nasty message. I was in England for a while, came back, and faced stage jobs squarely. All this while, too, I was doing stage productions, But when I came back, Tadio Gidon, he sent for me that you are Tina in Sisi Fagade's shop. I said yes. He said, yes, you can come back. So it was Tade who brought me back to Village Headmaster.
Ooh.
And because of the law that all those times that I was away, they now made me John Chukwu's girlfriend.
Okay.
He was playing Mr. Uche and all the stuff. The story long, small, but how person go talk and finish. Anyway, that was I'd been in the mainstream by that time. I was doing a lot of stage plays, a lot of television plays apart from Village Master. I have a retinue of plays that I cannot even remember unless somebody mentions it. And I say, oh, yes, I was in it, that is like 44 years down the drain.
I mean.
Down the lane.
I mean.
So we've been able to thank God all the time for his mercies and glory. And since I started acting, I've never really done any other thing. I'm just an actor. I'm a technocrat. I'm a career actor.
Wow.
That is what I do for a living. So.
Is it that you don't want to do any other thing, or you don't just find it interesting or
It's my passion.
lucrative? Okay.
You see, apart from Village Master, most of the other jobs we were doing were not paying. Like, we can rehearse a stage play for 3 months, 6 months, sleep inside the National Theatre, inside Mosquito, everything. Trek from home there. I was living in Surulere. Trek from home there, trek back home, and at the end of it, and my mom was like, you this girl, okay, shit, you don't want to go to school again? We found a bank job for you. I said, I'm not working in a bank.
Wow.
Because I'm careless. So things like that. But thank God we were there when there was nothing, because our passion was what was
The drive then.
it was what was driving us. We were driven by the passion for the arts. I did a lot of stage plays. And I still enjoy I still enjoy doing it if I have the chance.
I get it.
But since 1997, I moved out to Ibadan. And that one brought the lull in my stage performances, because people will say, if you bring her to Lagos, where will you accommodate her? She can't be coming from Ibadan and going back. But some people, if they really need me, they bring me over, they accommodate me for the period of the production, and this is where we are.
Do you still prefer stage to being on the screen, doing movies? Which do you prefer?
I like both.
Okay.
But being on stage, it pumps my adrenaline. You know why? Because you cannot afford to make mistakes on stage.
I get it.
If one character in a play on stage makes a mistake,
Oh, of course.
the next character should be able to cover up.
That's right.
Or the whole thing
It's messed up.
It's messed up. So the fact that you will know the line for the person before you,
And
you
after
have to
you.
know the one after you, in case that person gets stuck, you can use style to prompt
The
the
other
person,
person.
by giving him or her his
his
line,
lines.
and then it will pick up from there. You know, stage is challenge.
I know.
I love the stage challenge. I love it.
I know.
I love it. I love it.
You are not so much of a producer as such, like a lot of us, a lot of people.
Like a lot of you.
Okay, I am not so much of a producer as well.
But you have produced quite a number of films.
But if I'm to choose, I'd rather be an actor.
That was why I told you I'm a technocrat. I'm a technocrat. I'm a career actress.
I get.
I don't know about this money side of the business too much.
Mm.
They will cheat me. I produced a movie in 2003. At that time, by the grace of God, I spent 4.1 million.
2003.
Benny, to produce Jumbo.
Oh, I remember Jumbo.
But how much did I get back?
Wow.
There was a crash of VHS.
To
the
CD
transition
and
from VHS to CD.
CD at that
it
time.
affected me because we had dubbed series of thousands of VHS.
VHS at that
Then
time.
CD came in, this and that. Then 2 or 3 years later, we had to do part 2 because the marketer was a very honest and kind person. In person of Rotimi Aino Koshoro, they call him Kush.
Kush.
So he now insisted that, Ayo, you cannot conclude that story like that. Let's do part 2. I said, me, that I've not made my money back. I'm not doing part 2. He said, okay, let's collaborate and do part 2. And by the grace of God, when we did part 2, you know, it is now CD strictly. Nobody watches VHS anymore. He now reproduced the part one into CD, and we sold both part 1 and part 2. And thank God I got something out of it. Well, not as much as I should have. But for part 2, I made a bit of profit. But for part 1, it was money down the drain. So after that, I coordinated a job for somebody from England. It was an English movie. We did it well. We gave her hard drive to her. She knew how she sold it. I don't know about that. Then I produced one, Abeni Yanoro, in 2000. 2001.
Oh, okay.
I was stuck in the diaspora in the COVID-19 lockdown in America.
Oh, that's 2021.
Yes, 2021, sorry.
Okay.
I was in the US for like 8 months in the lockdown. When I came back, you know, a lot of people had forgotten me. They thought now I live in the States.
In the US.
So to let people know that I'm back, I produced one.
Okay.
Abeni Noro. It's streamed on Euroboat and now it's on DSTV.
Okay.
And just this last year, I produced another one that has not been released yet.
Oh, okay.
It's called Enu.
Enu. Mouth.
Enu. Atenujelo pasule gbera
Okay.
Enu. Sabi to chop pepper soup, go beer parlor, go eat anything. You don't know what pepper soup you are eating. The story is about that.
May we not eat the wrong pepper soup.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So that is the story so far. So, I've met interesting people like you in my work of life. Even though you can be very rude to me sometimes.
Yes, baby. Yes, baby.
It's been an exhilarating and exciting journey.
Yeah, I know.
And I glorify his name for it.
How did you get the Igbanla Dogi role? Because for me, that was huge. Yes.
Igbanla Dogi.
And I'm sure a lot of people, they have not forgotten about that movie till now.
Even children that were never born
then, at that time.
I'll pass by and they say Igbanla Dogi. I don't even have a copy.
Ooh.
In my library or my archive. I don't even have a single copy of Igbanla Dogi movie. both part 1, part 2, and Abeni Onikpangbe, which was the sequel.
Okay.
And
I see.
subsequently, we were supposed to do another one, Rosie Morakpala, which could have been the part 4.
Oh, okay.
But it was shot for 17 minutes before the producer passed on. So they never released it, you know. Igban Ladogi, I was in Abuja. At this point, I was in Abuja. I can't remember what I went to do in Abuja. There was land phone, no mobile. But my late friend, Toba Opaleye, and Yomi Ogumola, they had my mother's land phone number.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how they thought about. I've been hearing that Igban Ladogi on radio, that I'll be cussing the girl. Like when I listen to Toba's program like this, I say, you know, because the way Toba was reading it on radio, he reads it on every program.
Was it like a novel?
He wrote it.
Oh,
he was
wrote the
reading
story.
it. He was reading the story. Toba is the author of the story.
Oh, okay.
He was now reading the snippets on his radio program.
Okay,
with the
maybe.
hope that one day he will compile it to a proper novel and launch or something.
Okay.
Then the listening viewers, the listening audience, they now were clamoring, you know, even the names, the Sue Baby, so many, Larabai Mujabe, Aminotu Tetenji, you know, the names, it made it catchy. So whenever you know that Tobo Pale is coming on the radio, you want to know where the story is going. I listened to a couple, Baba Welele in Kongo. I didn't know when they said they should make it to a movie. So Yomi Ogumola called my mom. They told her, they told him I was in Abuja. Toba called. I called home. My mom said, they left a message for you that as soon as you come back, see Toba Okpale. I said, did they say date? She just told me that they left the address of where to meet them because I told them you are coming back over the weekend, and they said it's very, very important. I got back home. Immediately I dropped my bag. My mom said, in the actual fact, they sent somebody home this morning. I think you should go and sit down. So I went to this hotel at Podo because the thing was shot in Ibadan. I got there. Say, we've been trying to get to you, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You are playing a character for us. And it was Toba himself who recommended you. Toba wrote the play and he recommended you. I said, okay. You think I can play the character? They now said they were considering 2 other people for the character, but Toba insisted that if it's the Ayo I know, she will kill it. Okay, bring scripts. They said they made script for only the other people. They now gave me a midget with about 21 cassettes of how exactly he reads it on his program on radio. So they have now labeled the episodes on the tapes.
On the tapes, yeah.
So they gave me earpiece, midget, this. That is what I was listening to. Then they would get to the scene. They said, okay, this is the scene we are going to shoot now. I said, in which tape is it? They said, the index is on the tape. So I will look at the index. I'll fast wind, rewind until I get to the portion. And I will listen to the way he read it on the radio. And I will enact the character the way he read it. That was how I did it by Ladogi. They did not give me a script.
All through?
They gave other people, they made scripts for other people. But for the volume of my work, they gave me the tapes to be listening to.
Wow.
The way Toba was reading it on radio.
So you have to act it exactly the same way.
Because you see, when you are reading a prose, especially if you are very good at reading the language with which the prose has been written, it makes it sound, the characters come to life. So you as an actor, you take yourself out of yourself to step into that person's character that they are talking about, or more you will kill it.
Wow.
So that was how Igbanla Adogi came about.
We love it. We still remember it, even though
Unfortunately, I didn't collect any award for it.
for Igbanla Dogi. Okay, so which?
But somebody dashed me a car
Oh.
outside of award ceremonies and all stuff.
So which other movies gave you your awards? Of course, you're an award-winning actor. You've received so many awards.
Yes, so many.
So many.
I mean, so many recognizable awards. Tima Awards, Real Awards, Afro Nollywood, Abia Award in Boston by the House of the Lords in the States. They gave me an award in Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
I can't remember which of my jobs they saw.
So, okay.
I took an award in Egypt for Mama Insurance. I took an award. So many.
So many.
There are so many awards, and just this last Saturday, Mr. Yomi Fabi conferred on our poor person senior artist of Nigeria.
Ooh, San Binta Ayomogaji,
Yes,
baby.
Yes, to the rostrum, to the podium.
Oh, that's very nice, actually.
So that was how Igbanla Adogi came about.
Oh, okay. Mommy, we want to go a little bit deeper, and that's what we do on the show. Aside your career, we want to know about family, and that's also for us to learn other aspects of your life, learn from it. If there's one or two experiences that we need to pick, mistakes here and there, or the success, everything. So at what point, I know you have just a son. I'm sure people know. Of course, we are not, and a great one at that. And like Yoruba we say, "Omadiro Omadigba for him."
Amen.
Like Barrow Long. By God's grace, you will never know his end.
Amen.
By God's grace. So, I want you to tell us about how it came out. You had him with an actor,
Yes.
our daddy that we know. But I know that was not the person you got married to, of course. So please tell us, just tell us a little bit.
Okay, like going back to my background, my mother had been like, "Sure, ni moko wale, would you not get married?" And when I was in my prime, number one criteria in my home, you cannot marry a non-Muslim.
Wow.
So all the Muslim people that were dating me and I was dating, I do theater now. And I smoke cigar. And it's like, okay, she says her prayers, but she has
Because
seen,
you smoke?
not because I smoke, because they believe I've been over
Exposed. Okay.
Like my aperture has opened. When you are using camera, when you open the aperture, you see too many things. So they believe that I've seen
Too much.
that I cannot be controlled. Which actually was not true. Okay. I promised myself by the time I'm 40, if I cannot get I stopped looking for husbands.
Okay.
I wanted to make a baby. By 40, if I can't make a baby by 40, then I'll go and adopt. That was my mindset. And there's Mr. Jibola Dabo, whom we have dated each other as far back as 1989. You know, before he left for the United States and spent so many years there. We were in touch, this and that, and all of a sudden we were no more in touch. Then sometime he came back, looked for my mom's house, came, we saw each other, he left again, he relocated to England. Anyway, just like that, one day, may God rest my friend's soul. His name is Alhaji Abdul Fattah Teniola. I call him O7. So, myself and Alhaji was somewhere in Ikeja at a function. And then this person called me. There was, the mobile phone had come at that time. Yeah, who is this? It's GB. I said, the same GB I know or another one? Say, it's the same GB. Is that you? We did one stage play
together.
Time ago that we used to call him Babelewetu. So, where are you? I'm in Nigeria. Nigeria, okay. I'm in Lagos. I'm in Ibadan. When I come back, I'll check you out. And I drove down to Ibadan. He gave me the address. I went there, blah, blah, blah. We rekindled the friendship one way or the other. Not immediately, of course. You cannot go into all that. I used to live in Bodija. He used to live in Adigbai. So, one day, and I never took him to my house.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. I just don't know. But one day, he discovered where I lived. When I want to see him, it's either we meet in town or I go to their place at Adigbai. I was mobile, so I could go anywhere I want. He discovered my house. I remember that the day he first came to my house, I was shocked that, how did you know this place? Yeah, you are a popular figure now, and somebody knows that you live very close to Babala Dodger's house. Toyin Ashewo Toremeka was with me in my house on that day that he first came there. Little by little, he moved in. We started living together in my house. And what more can I say? The baby made his entrance. But he didn't want to get married or anything. He told me he didn't want to get married.
Was he married at that time?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
But he's had series of children before my turn. And when I got pregnant, I couldn't go and abort it. Even though he told me he wasn't looking for a child at that age.
Okay.
So I said, don't worry, I'll be able to take care of my child. And that was how Kushimani came. So.
Kushimani.
Yes.
Before that time, have you been trying to make babies? It was impossible, or because you didn't have, or you were not married?
At that point, I told you, nobody wants to marry us now. We are actors. You will marry an actor. You know, things evolve with time. Yes. This evolution of sometimes you will wear miniskirt is the vogue. Sometimes you will wear long body is the vogue. During the time I was growing up, people believed that you can actress. They know we are not ashewos because another era had come that people refer to actresses as ashewo. But in our time, it was like kolegboro si elenu.
She can't be submissive.
She cannot be submissive. She has seen it all. What do you want to say? What do you want to do? She will, kind of thing. And for those of us who are not promiscuous, we will go into a serious relationship. They will tease you. You think this is how it's going to be, and at the end of the day, something will happen or the other. So, I decided I just want to have a baby. That if I don't have a baby until I'm 40, then I will adopt a child. So I've zeroed my mind to the fact that it's not by force that
First
you must
to
marry
get
now.
married.
I mean, getting married, I'm a love for surely I'm not cut out for that. You know what I'm saying? So, fortunately for me, Jibola came around the time, shortly before I was 40, because I had my baby 6 weeks after I became 40 years old.
You had him. Oh wow, wow.
So I'm just 6 weeks. I'm
Past
just
40.
six
You were just
weeks
40.
older than my
My
baby.
baby. Oh wow,
I'm
wow.
just 6 weeks older than my baby. So I glorify God and I thank Jibola. I mean, it made my dream come to fruition. So we are friends. It's still
And
my friend.
was that the end of the relationship? Or you guys came back after that time?
No, we were still living together. We reared Ademide together until it was almost 2.
Oh, okay. So how did you manage that part that he doesn't want a baby? You were
But when the
pregnant.
baby came, he kind of, just had to agree that, okay, yeah, I know it's my baby. And we kept living together, each person living his or her own life. There are a lot of other things that happened, but saying it in this kind of forum would not be palatable
Yeah.
because we're in the same kind of business.
Of
But he
course.
knows, if he's listening to the program, he will know what I'm talking about. He had his complaints, I had my complaints.
Of course.
And since we're both adults, so we decided to go our separate ways because we were not legally bounded anyways. But fortunately or unfortunately, somebody came around who liked me and liked my dog, teased me as men will do, and we got married officially. We had a nikai, and Sarudin did the nikai, and I was in the marriage.
That was after him?
Yes.
Okay.
I was never
No,
married
I
to
mean,
Jibola.
no, after he left. That's what I mean.
Yeah, after Jibola left.
Okay.
But we were still friends, you know.
Okay.
We still talk, maybe from far off, but we still communicate. I mean,
Of course.
we meet each other on location. We're cordial. Up till now, we're still cordial. The last Ileya, he came to my house. Mufawa generally, yeah, you're welcome. Come, like that's the kind of relationship we
yeah.
have because we are matured people. Then one Britico man, Nigerian born Britico, Britico born Nigeria man, came and we fell in love. We actually fell in love.
Wow.
We actually fell in love with each other. And we were in it for like 13 years. But, sometime when the woman is on a certain pedestal that is higher than that of the spouse, it brings bad blood within the relationship. And I think that was what happened, that my marriage fell apart. Yesterday, he still called me, hello, my love, and I sent him a message, who is your love? He said, being divorced does not, being your ex-wife does not mean you are my ex-love. And we've been separated for like 4 years now. Or
4.
But the marriage was for 13 years. Actually, we got married on your birthday.
23rd of December.
Of December. We got married your birthday, 23rd December 2006, and we fell apart January 28th, year 2020.
And that was it. I don't know what to say, to be honest. But I love love, so I don't.
Yeah, I love love too. That was why I stayed in the marriage for almost 14 years.
So where is he now? Do you?
Somewhere in the world. But yesterday, actually, he sent me a message yesterday. The day before yesterday, he sent me Happy New Month.
Okay.
I responded, same to you. Then yesterday, he said, hello, my love. And I sent a jiver. I said, who is your love? Then he replied and said, being my ex-wife does not mean that you are my ex-love. So I decided not to answer.
Answer. Oh, so does it mean to you there's no room for reconciliation?
No, there can't be room because he's an old man. And if I could tolerate that thing for 13 years thinking there'll be a change, there will be a change. If there can be no change for 13 years, then there can never be change. It's not a bad person. It's just that when you are too jealous, when you are when you have complex, it's very hard. When one of the spouses has a complex and the complex is deeply rooted that nothing the other one would do, you will spite that person. It can't work. You see, I'm not one of those people who believe that we just have to make this marriage work. Yes, you can try. And I did try for 13 years to make it work. He was the one who left me. I didn't leave him. He was the one who left the house. Upon all my endurance, he was the one who packed his load and left. In fact, my younger sister was even saying, brother, can you show Berry now? He said, no, because your sister thinks she's this, she's that, she's... And I said, if he wants to leave, let him leave. And he left. 3 days later, he started begging me. I said, no, because I'm the one paying the rent to this house. You were the one who removed your stuff. You can't come back here. It's not a hotel. You decided to leave. You left. So you can't come back. In fact, he took alimony in the place of I used to have a location boss. He took it with him. And I just, because I've had it up to here. So I just say, whatever else he wants to take, let him take it. Let him go.
And that was it.
That was it. And he started begging me. 2 years after separation, I went to him and said I wanted a divorce. He said, no, he will never divorce me. And I said, yes, I'll carry the available like that. Don't worry, don't divorce me. When it's 3-4 years, I will go to court and it will be the decree absolute. Because after 4 years of separation, whether you appear, you don't appear, if I want to take divorce, I'll take it. And that's it.
Is there anything you think you could have done better in the course of the marriage?
I did everything. Everything. To hold it together, I did everything.
Do you think it was all about the complex for you?
The abusive language, the threats. In fact, I got to a stage I had to contact police station with a petition that if anything happens to me, don't look foul. This is where it's coming from. Like I said, I'm not one... I like a home. I since I was a kid, even though I came from a polygamous home, I did not pray to be in one. Not that my polygamous home was not good,
But
it was beautiful. Because you can, until my father died, you can never say, Obirin, Lobimoy, that this is Ele's daughter. Because we eat in the same pot, we sleep in any of our mother's rooms. There was nothing like, you know what I'm saying? But when matrimony leads you to a spot where you can't have your own friends, your family cannot come, you will start looking at them somehow. even knowing the kind of job you are in before you got married. If you go out on a job, you have gone to do karuanchi. No. And then the reaction at home, the abusive language, the physical abuse, the mental torture. When it gets too much, I will advise anybody to get out of that kind of marriage. Because otherwise, they may come and lit your candle. Oh. I'm telling you. So I keep wondering that these are our parents. We find them doing 50 years anniversary of marriage. Does that mean marriage for them was a bed of roses? No, it wasn't. It was their tolerance, endurance, and understanding. So I tried. For those 13 years, I was trying that, okay. When it got to a stage, you say this, like Yoruba people will say, Toba so pokun, mani yes, pokun. Emi no ri pokun. Even though it might not be beyond the very last bottom of the pot. Toba ni oh there for yeah, mo wo be no go far. But in a relationship, why do you want to live like that? Which means you cannot tell each other what is actually in your mind. Then it's no more a relationship. You are just roommates, so to say, or something like that.
Do you think some people will think that you should have, or you didn't do so much because you didn't go begging him, and some people will be of the opinion that why do I need to beg somebody that doesn't want to stay? What's your take on that? Do you think you should have gone
No.
to do some extra?
Actually, the begging aspect of it, the person who was supposed to beg was the one begging. Because he was supposed to beg me. And he's the one begging. But I'm done. I'm done and dusted with that aspect of my life. Because before he moved out of the house, I said, we're matured people. We can still live together. It is only me and you that will know that we are not husband and wife.
Okay.
But to the world, we'll put up a facade. And it is what we tell them that they will know. But let's remain friends. If we're friends, we can be roommates or flatmates now.
How long do you think you would be able to do that?
I even gave him that kind of offer. That let's just be friends. But he didn't want that.
Okay.
People started saying maybe because when he relocated, he doesn't have anything he's doing. I opened a betting shop for him. I opened it with my money for him. Everything I bought and put in the betting shop, when he was leaving, he took them all. But I'm not bothered about that. I'm thanking my God that I can breathe easy. I'm not afraid to go back home. I'm not afraid of being woken up in the middle of the night to talk about irrelevant things. Things that you don't know facts about, that you just assume, okay, from where I was sitting down, this is how this thing looks, so it must be like that. I've never had a history of blood pressure, whether low or high. But I was getting to that level of that I can have it. That when it's only me and him at home, I will go outside the compound and sit down till somebody will come, so that I will not be abused.
Wow.
So I couldn't have gone back to bed. The mistake I made was that when my marriage was 2 years old, was when I should have gotten out of it.
Why?
Because the abuse was much then. Even though we were living in England, But any little thing, ìgbájú ìgbámú ni kẹ́ríkẹ́rí máa ń bá ròde ni.
Wow.
Even in England, so many of my friends are privy to this. They will say, go and report at the police station. I said, no.
Your marriage was just 2 years at that time,
At that time, yes.
and you didn't leave.
And I didn't leave. But I left, well, I ostracized him for like 2 years. I stopped going to England. I started going to the States. Then this Ebe was too much. His father was alive. One day, the Baba just says, see me at home. I got there. I said, oh, yeah, here is your ticket. Start going to England. And that was how we settled that sport.
At that
so
time.
the abuse
Stopped.
stopped. But the verbal abuse, I mean, the verbal abuse was there.
What was your age difference, or what's the age difference between you and him till now?
Less than 2 years.
Oh, you guys are age mates.
Yeah.
I would think he's way older than you.
Well, about 2 years and a teensy-weensy month.
This with
Yeah. No, it's not even up to 3 years.
okay.
It's not even up to 2.5 years.
You guys are still.
So basically, we're age mates.
Yeah.
Because when a man is 30 and a woman is 25, that 25-year-old girl is wiser than the 30-year-old man. Unless she just wants to look meek and be submissive.
Yeah.
But the things a 25-year-old woman will know, a 30-year-old man will never know it.
I agree.
That's it.
From your story, what have you learned? What has it taught you? What would you want us to take home from your personal experience?
I've said it. Marriage is a sweet thing, especially for the kids when they're growing up. They can say, this is my dad, this is my mom. They will not feel lacking when they are within amongst their peers. When they are amongst their peers, I should say. Like they want to do PTA meeting, you have to bring your parents. Children will be happy to see both their parents. You want to take them out for ice cream, for pizza, it's good. But when a marriage wants to lead you to depression, it's not a must that you must be there. Sometimes you are more valued when you are separated than when you are together. It is not a do or die affair. Some people decide that I don't want to get married in my life, I just want to have children. The wiser ones, they made their kids, a couple of kids with the same man, and they say goodbye. But the ones who are not so wise, if I like you, okay, let this child be the meeting point amongst us, goes to another man. For those of us who cannot just do that, you don't have to die in the marriage. That's the advice I will tell people from my experience. A lot of things go down that you cannot say openly.
Really, I know.
This one that we are talking about is the periphery of the matter that we can talk about. A lot of things, So I'll just advise you, if you know that your matrimony is getting hot and uncomfortable, let it be. It's not a stigma. What if that person died and you are widowed and you are still of marriageable age? Won't you marry another person?
That's right.
Won't you get into another relationship? You might decide not to have a relationship, so would you die?
No.
As long as you are hardworking, be proud of the work of your hand. If you are hardworking, work hard and live within your means. Live within your means. You'll be okay. When your children grow up, they will do things for you well, hopefully.
By God's grace.
And if they don't, just keep working, man.
Do you think at any time, with your age, do you think you'd ever give marriage or such relationship another chance?
Yes, I'm just 60 years old. It's not the end of the world. I've seen a lot of women in this country, not abroad though, that got married above 60. If I get married now, it's companionship I'm
They're
looking
looking
for.
for.
You understand? If I can just find somebody that Daddy Emma fi newspaper, I see the you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, why
At
not?
least. Okay. Okay.
A lot of people, apart from the fact that they shouted how old I was when they were celebrating my birthday. If I tell you I'm 60, would you believe I'm 60? Forget the white
Right
hair.
there.
I
No,
would have
of course.
tinted it.
Of course. Of course.
You know?
People do that.
So if I see somebody who thinks that my craze is at par with his own, and he likes me,
Why not?
if he toasts me, I will marry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am.
But me, I will now be Omo Yahoo.
Yes, now. You'll be there in flower girl. You come and do flower girl.
So what would Sionu and me now do? What would Aisha do now?
Those ones will be ring bearer. No, I think they will be ring bearer. Aisha will be what do they call page boy. Page
Baby.
that is my grandchild.
Oh my God. I know,
There's
right?
nothing new under this world. You know, one thing about relationship is that age does not
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
As long as your souls are in tangent with each other, I can tolerate this person. Even though he talks a lot, I can't tolerate this person. Even though he showers me with love, his love suffocates me. When love gets to suffocation level, omo, japa.
Let it go. When love gets to suffocation level,
Japa.
That's a lot. Okay, Mom, thank you so much for coming on the show. I wanted to ask a question. Okay, let me still ask it. Do you have an unforgettable experience that you just can't forget this experience? Whatever it is.
Okay, unforgettable experience.
Anything at all.
Yeah. You remember I told you that I was looking out to get married, but nobody was ready to marry me.
At that
Even though
time.
they know I'm a jolly good fellow, but I'm not promiscuous.
Of course.
And when they see that nothing, they leave me and they go. So there was this lawyer man who wanted to really marry me because he had been in a marriage for 14 years and they'd never had a child. And he took me to his mom. His mom was an alaja at that time. That, well, I've taken up to your advice. And me, I was looking for a child and a home, and I wanted an educated person as well. So we didn't do introduction, but the only introduction was that his mom knew me and my mom knew him. We weren't living together because he was still living with his wife at that time, but I got pregnant.
Oh.
Unfortunately enough, the pregnancy was ectopic.
Oh.
It stayed right inside the fallopian tube. And Lutz Hospital was on strike at that time. So by the time we realized what was happening, they took me to like 7 hospitals. Late Uncle Ediadereokun was the one who now gave me a note to the hospital where they admitted me. They didn't even want to admit me. Thank God the doctor stepped out for a while and I said, "Na emergency, just give me a bed." And the note I brought with me, they gave me the bed. The man said, "I'm not sure you can survive till tomorrow." And I told the man, I said, "Do you believe in God?" He said, yes. I said, even if you don't believe in God, believe in me because I believe in God. And
My
me
faith will
and
help
my
you.
God do not have the agreement that I'm going to die like this.
Wow.
And they did the operation the following day. All my friends in the industry, Ngozi Nwosu cried. Her eyes was like this by the time the operation took them like 7 to 9 hours the following day. And Ngozi she had cried all her eyeballs, saying Ngozi get eye wella. She don't cry. Shola Shubowale, everybody, Uncle Sam Loko, Jide Kosok, everybody was at the hospital. So when I came back into my right senses, the doctor said, and I didn't want to admit you, I didn't know I was admitting a star. I said, I claim it. This was in 1992. Fortunately or unfortunately, the ectopic pregnancy ruptured before they could do anything, and it ruptured my appendix. So they had to remove one fallopian tube. But I'm living with one, and I had my child through natural birth with that one I had.
Wow. You can't forget this. We can't forget in a hurry. You had him with just one.
Yes. And I had him through natural cause. It
No
wasn't
CS.
no.
Wow. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you. And today,
yes.
I glorify his name for using Jibola for me. My son is 20.
20. Thank God. And
he
thank
just
you.
Finished university today.
Thank you to God.
Amen.
Thank you to you for staying alive for us.
Glorify
Thank you. Thank you thank you to Uncle Jibola Dabo.
That made me a parent.
Thank you to him. And
thank God Almighty for using him.
Yes, so we thank God for him.
Thank
and
you for...
We also thank God for Ademide.
Amen.
Koshemani.
Yes, so... And thank you, Miss Biola. Talk with B. I
talk to B.
As I was coming inside, I see everything royal. I branch at the shop. I took 3 items, but they said they don't sell on credit.
Your fans will pay for you.
So
I want fans.
The 3 items I took, I want to know right here.
Right where?
Everything royal is not for our only basis, but can I pay in
installment? How you pay it? Mommy, please. What's everything royal?
Installment here.
Mommy. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This little gift is to appreciate you.
Oh, really?
Thank
you so much. And thank everybody that made this possible. It's a great pleasure being on Talk to Be.
Yes.
It's a program I really love, and I like the concept. I know some people will come from nowhere to cause trouble for you. But because I know you, and I know that you are an ardent believer of whatever you believe in, and you don't just say things, you make your findings.
No.
I mean, like they will say, why did God will continue to empower you to do that.
Amen.
So that all these Olori Burúkú people that want to put themselves inside trouble will never cross your path.
Amen. Amen.
I use this opportunity to say thank you to the members of crew and to myself, the cast.
That came to act movie.
To you, our audience, I'm telling you, everything royal, they got beautiful things.
Oh.
Beautiful things. Just drop by.
Yes,
it's nice to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. We love you. I'm grateful. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, this is where I'll be drawing the curtains. This is where I'll be saying goodbye to you till I come your way. Same time, same channel. Do not forget, in whatever thing you're doing, put God first, be determined, and stay focused. My name is Dr. Abiola Adebayo Akinride. I love you guys. God bless you.
Talk to Be share your experience.